version of sex. I don't want your sex. I don't want the King James version of sex. Too much sex can affect semen quality.
Right.
And we are not to have sex while intoxicated.
Right.
You're judging me for what? And you're fat. You're a glutton. And it's all a sin.
Welcome to season 3 of Vault Empowers Talks. Y'all, we are back and we are better than ever with deeper conversations, powerful guests, and all the inspiration you need to take your life to the next level.
Purpose is a part of calling. You will know your purpose when people start calling you for it.
If your partner falls asleep, rolls over after intercourse, there is a problem.
The average size penis is within the 5-inch window, right?
5 inches.
5 inches.
As I'm still holding this in my hand.
339 years of trauma. Did the trauma continue?
Absolutely.
Healing cannot happen without justice.
Ready to hear the truth?
Yeah.
Or we want comfort?
We want the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This season, it's all about leveling up.
Y'all, why did I have my mic muted? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's a Winning Wednesday. You already know the vibes. It's your girl, Brandy Harvey. Y'all, but it is the season 3 launch party of Vault Empowers Talks. Y'all already know the deal. Listen, I am so excited that y'all are joining me for our virtual launch party. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I want to tell y'all, I have listened to all y'all cheers and jeers. I have seen the comments in the thread. And y'all, we have answered the call in season 3. Y'all have told us who y'all want us to sit down with, who y'all want me to talk to, who y'all want to dive in, the subjects y'all want to dive into. And I'm so excited. I had to tell y'all though, this is why I'm so excited about season 3. One, because, Carly is the season opener tomorrow. But the thing that I'm excited about is that I think this season we are going to offer conversations that serve the entire community. And y'all, this is where I got this from this year. I got to tell y'all this story because Anthony O'Neill is in the building and I cannot wait for him to join me live on stage. But I have to tell y'all, this was last spring, I went to Fawn Weaver. I went to her book launch for Love and Whiskey. And I went to the launch here in Atlanta. I went to the book talk. And here's what Fawn Weaver said. And this is what has changed my life in this moment. She's on stage and she said, look, we're not going to have a regular book conversation. I'm not going to have somebody up here moderating. You are the ones that are going to ask me the questions. But she said, I have one rule. She said, when you get up to ask a question, she said, make sure that it serves the entire room. That it serves the entire room. A question, it ends in a question mark and it serves the entire room. And so what I heard, y'all, I said, you know what I want? I want conversations that serve our entire community. So for all the people who tune in and listen and have been watching since season 1, thank you so much. If you just joined along the way in season 2, thank you so much. And if you are along for the ride for season 3, I'm going to thank you in advance. So I am so ready. I am getting ready to get this started. I got to tell y'all are getting a sneak peek too, because this season we got new types of content for you guys. One of the things I'm really excited about for this season is we are doing What's in Your Bag with all the people who come to sit down with us. So it's super funny. Y'all are going to see Carly's this week. I'm excited about it. What's in your bag? They are showing what things they travel with, what are essentials in their life, and it might be some things that you can use. So I'm super excited about that. And then we're also introducing this fact or fiction, true or false, myth or truth. We're adding in this nice little game to ask all our experts who come on the show so we can get a little more insight and dive deeper. But without further ado, I get to invite to the stage one of my favorite guests from season 1. If I was going to do a launch party, he was going to have to be here. He is an author. He is a speaker. He is a teacher. He brings you to the table every single week. None other than the one and only Anthony O'Neill. Come on up, Anthony.
My sister, what's up, man?
Anthony O'Neill, how are you?
Man, I am doing well. When I got the invite to come and be on your thing, I said, heck yeah. Why did I even get a question? Just tell me the date and the time and I'm going to pull up for sure,
yes.
Brandy.
Listen, I'm so excited that you're joining me. I had to bring you up because you are one of my favorite guests from season 1. From season 1, you are one of my favorite guests.
Wait. You're on season 3 now, right?
I'm on season 3, Anthony.
And I ain't made it back to season 2 or 3 yet? How am I a favorite guest?
We haven't had any repeats just yet. Carly is going to be our first repeat guest. Okay. But you and I was Anthony came to the show when we were just getting started, when we were just the little engine that could, and you came and you took a chance on us and you shared it to your audience. And I was so grateful. But it was one of those conversations that was super genuine, super funny. Everybody talked about our chemistry in the comments. And, of course, when 2 single people are together, they always think y'all gonna date each other. So I said, Anthony gotta come back. Yeah.
Bring me back. I mean, hey, listen, man. I'm still single. You still single. We may shock him. I don't know.
Wait, Anthony, this is your way back. Okay, you are here, so this is your way back. Yeah.
Man, listen, I really did enjoy that show. It was so funny. I think I had about, I think my team told me close to about 20 DMs. Like, have you ever considered Brandy? Have you ever considered Brandy? And so one of them I responded, just to see how I responded. I said, actually, I did consider Brandy. We tried it. It was like, oh my God, oh my God. I was like, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But it's interesting how people will see two educated, Black, successful, thriving people. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only single man you interview. It's funny how the world treats us single people. So it's all good.
Well, the world just wants to see us win in love, Anthony. I think that's what they want.
But you know what, though? The truth is, they just want to see two single people get married. They done try to hook me up with ugly. I mean, let me be quiet.
Listen, I know you get hooked up with all the people. Okay, I already know they trying to hook you up with all the people. But outside of you being single, you have created a very thriving platform over on YouTube and, of course, in the podcast world. And that has not been easy, at all. And, for you to also be writing a book. And I think I remember when you were working on the book, I think right when you did the show, you were coming here at the start of you writing this book. So, I mean, so much has changed over the last year.
Yeah, so much has. Actually, Brandon, when I did your show, I was there writing the book. That's why I came to Atlanta. And so it's been an absolute joy. It just came out last week. A little over 15,000 copies sold within the first week.
Ooh.
And man, it's been a huge joy to have my third book come out, right? But I think the biggest thing I'm excited about was changing, which is why I think, the vault is so important, is that people are looking for information.
Yeah.
People are looking to grow and mature. And so since the last time I've seen you on your show, man, I went back to school. I completed my bachelor's. I'm inside my executive MBA program. And then now I am a professor at HBCU, Virginia Union University, teaching consumer economics and financial management to undergrads. And so we have other schools or other HBCUs are trying to get me in there. So it's like I'm really understanding that people want the information. Like they really want to learn. And so I want to go back to school to get the information myself so I can have the paper behind it. And so this year I'll be done with my MBA program, and in January 1, I start my PhD program in finances. And so just really growing and maturing and evolving as a man. And you got to bring me back on the show after I get the MBA, because I want to talk about that entire experience of what I've learned about money from a Black perspective and what I've learned in my first year of being an actual professor at a thriving HBCU. So I want to talk to you about that.
You have to, but before you go, I want you to give I ask people at the end of every episode what word they're committed to in this season of their life. And so I want to ask you, what are you committed to right now? Be it a word or a thing.
Right now, this season of my life, I'm committed to just posturing myself differently as a man. And I'm posturing myself to learn. I'm posturing myself to grow and evolve and mature. Even to the point where I've even let some things go in my own personal business that wasn't in alignment with that. And so if we go back to the very beginning, we talked about me being single. I was moving as a single man, but I wasn't postured as a married man. I was moving as a man who was wealthy, but I wasn't postured as a man who was wealthy mentally. And so now in this season of my life, I'm committed to just posturing myself the correct way. So that way I'm attracting the right things, the right people, the right teammates, the right partner, even just the right environment that I need to be in. And so that's one thing that I'm really committed to this season of my life.
Oh my goodness. I love that for you, Anthony. I mean, I didn't even know you were a professor. So you wearing all these different hats in this season. So this posture is going to be different. We're going to see a different version of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the content. They'll see it. Only thing I need though is I need that hat, because that hat is going to make that posture look even a little bit better. So just send me that thing right there. Every time I see you got on some level of fashion, I'm like, God, no. And every time I see Brandon, she's stepping out with something clean, boy. You ain't his twin. I said, so
Anthony.
help me look good in my new posture season, and I'll take the head off you whenever you get done with today's show.
Listen, thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us. Thank you for being one of those great supporters for me in season 1. And thanks for even stepping in for season 3, because we're going to see you back here this season. So
Let's talk about it. You're going to be calling me Dr. A.O. then.
Dr. A.O. I can't wait. So Anthony O'Neal, thank you for joining us. Tell people where they can find you.
All right, man, go to anthonyoneal.com. Everything, all things from book, free resources to get out of debt, build wealth, to buy the book, my show, everything is on anthonyoneal.com.
Anthony O'Neal, great to see you. I will see you soon. Peace.
Yes, ma'am. Love you.
Love you back. You guys, oh my goodness. Anthony was one of my favorite episodes from season 1. When I tell you we became fast friends after he did that. So I am so excited. But y'all, we're going to keep the party going because we got some heavy hitters in the building. Y'all, I had to bring up some people when we were thinking about who was going to be on this launch party. When I was thinking about all the people that were going to be on the launch party, I kept thinking about, we had so many people who responded back to us. It was so many people who said, yes, 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 which means I must be pretty good at my job. You know what I'm saying? Everybody said yes, but it was so many people that I was thinking about. We had these really great moments, right? We had these really, really great moments, not just on screen, but we had some moments that went viral across certain platforms. So whether it was TikTok, whether it was YouTube, whether it was Facebook, whether it was Instagram, we had so many moments. I love to see the chat because I can see some of the chat going. So it's just so many people that started along the way. I gotta shout out Mia, who I see she's in the chat. But I have to shout out Mia, y'all, because Mia was like my first producer for the show when I first started, before it was really a thing. And Mia took a chance and was riding with us as we evolved this show, which started off, I have to tell y'all, it started off as like a live training experience on Zoom. And I said, I think there's something there. And we morphed it into what it is, Vault Empowers Talks. And I got to tell y'all, it was such an interesting ride when we first started. But along the way, I had so many people who were so helpful in making this show come to life. The Anthony O'Neals, of course, from season 1. And then I always tell y'all, if you have heard me tell this story, David Shands, y'all, I have to say, David Shands was such a game changer. If you're not familiar with him, Social Proof Podcast. If you're not familiar, he has a whole platform that really charges entrepreneurs. But y'all, when I tell y'all, David Shands came to do the show July 7th of 2023, July 7th, David Shands came to do the show. And you guys, when David Shands, was that 23 or 22, y'all? That might have been 22. Yeah, because we've been doing the show 2 years. So that was 22, I think, maybe 23. I can't get my years right. But y'all, okay, Dr. J is in the building. I see that, thank you. But y'all, I tell this story because David Shands took such a chance when he came over and he said, how can I help you? And the weekly show that y'all see now is because David Shands says, I see something in you and I want to help you go to the next level. And however I can do that, that's what I want to do. And y'all, I was like, okay, when people say they want to help you, but y'all, this man really took such keen interest in what we were doing and how we were producing content. And when I tell you, what you see today is really what David Shands said to us. Consistency is the cheat code. It is a cheat code for life. And so we consistently have put out an episode every single week. And I'm so grateful to the team. So Mia, thank you for your contribution, who paved the way for Jada to blossom and step into who she is in this season. So without further ado, y'all, I had to bring this person up to the show. He was our first viral moment on Instagram with over 1.3 million views on his clip. And I said, he's got to come back because he created too much of a chatter around the world about one certain little study that said little boys require 6 times more hugs than girls. Without further ado, Dr. J. Barnett, come on up to the show. How are you?
What's up?
Oh, wait, are you muted? There you go. How you doing, Jay?
What's up, Brandy?
Man, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Listen, I haven't seen you since you walked out of doing the interview that day, and we knew we created some magic, but we didn't know what magic was going to take off.
I know, right? I know, man. Yeah. We had no idea what it was going to create, but I think it was very impactful. It was very provocative. And I think it's also encouraging people just to research. So many people was like, man, and of course, when you're in the moment of talking or speaking, like I don't recall citations. And as I, was a doctoral student at one time or another. And of course, with everything that we do, it's ingrained with citations and all those different things. And so during the moment, I can't recall the study and the person who wrote the study. But from my coursework, it was something that I recall in a moment because of what we were talking about, the lack of emotional availability in men. And so the stir that it created from both men and women. And this is why it's so important to listen to the entire story first before we begin taking sound bites and pulling excerpts. And of course, we use excerpts because we want to get the people in, right? It's debate, right? And so, but I'm just glad that it got people to talking, and it's been humbling to see so many mothers who have created that sound bite on TikTok, and they're using it to talk about, how they're hugging their boys, because on one end, people think if I hug boys, just make them soft. And then, on another end, well, girls need it too. It's not saying that girls doesn't need hugs. I was simply stating, and the studies and research shows, is because boys are often underdeveloped emotionally and psychologically.
Yeah.
Because of this reason, a lot of men are emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
Because wherever we are not developed emotionally, it is behaved and acted out and expressed as adults. And especially if these things are not developed by the time you're 25. And as we know, the frontal cortex of the brain is done developing at 25.
Yeah. I mean, it was such a uproar, right? When
man.
we never thought, of course, when you make that as a clip that goes out, right? We never think that's gonna be the thing, right? Like that's not the thing. Yeah. And then it becomes the thing, And I remember texting you, and I sent you the screenshot of when it hit 1 million views, and I said, I don't think that we were thinking that this was gonna be.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. We was just like, no, it was, it was just wild, man. But I'm excited that it happened on your platform and happened on the Vault Empowers, because your platform has been just that, for so many people that are watching, and even for myself. And I know at the time that I was on on your platform and doing the interview, I was coming off probably, a very challenging time for myself emotionally. Transition was happening. I was ending my tour, the Just Here Bro tour that I had been doing for the past 3 years. So even for me to be able to have that moment to sit down with you, it was so cathartic for me to just talk, because I hadn't done any interviews, and intentionally, because when I don't have anything to say, I don't feel like talking. So I'm not one of those persons that people just love to hear themselves talk. And though I often feel that I have something to say, but I don't think that what I have to say has to be said. And I just think it was one of those divine moments that God allowed to happen on your platform.
Yeah, I mean, it was people don't understand, and I saw this in it wasn't your interview, but it was another one that somebody said. I say in the interview, like, we don't pregame with shots, we pregame with conversation. And somebody was like, oh, she taking a shot at, another show. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. We literally just pregame with conversation. We just get to know each other. And so when you came in, you were the first interview of the day. You had such great energy, though, and just your interaction with the team, with Jada, with Tay and Brandon, and the conversations that you all were having. And then when we sit down together, we're talking a long time before the interview even starts.
Yeah, so, we were flowing, man.
Yeah. And so it was one of those things where you're like, y'all really don't even understand how so much magic happens before that. When the camera is going, some stuff we've already hit on, so we may subconsciously have already talked about or said certain things,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, that's also what makes your show what it is, because you pregame with conversation. That sort of gets people's brains to flowing. Get their juices kind of, percolating to kind of, and I know for me, because let me say this, there's a difference in when I'm on stage giving a keynote, when I'm in a church giving a message, when I'm on a panel providing insight, and when you're sitting down in an interview. Messages are created, they are critiqued, and there's an outline. Because if I'm speaking in a church, you want people to follow the message. You can't be here, you can't be there. We have to be focused. When you're giving a keynote, it's theme oriented. When you're on a panel, you want to make sure that you're in alignment with what? The topic discussion.
Yeah.
When you're doing an interview, there is a freedom.
Yeah.
And you have to be agile to be able to move from different places. And that's what I love about your platform, is that we didn't just talk about one thing, but if you watch the flow of it, it all ties in back to the same thing.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's like when people watch any one of the interviews, right? I want them to be able to, like, you're sitting right in the conversation with us,
Absolutely.
you are right there in the room with us having this conversation, in real time, in real life. And the thing that gets to happen, and the openness and the things that people share when they may have said, and a lot of times, I get this, Jay, like, I've never shared that before. I've never said that before.
No.
There were things that you had not been open about in depth, on other shows,
Yeah, and you created the space for that, and also your energy was inviting enough to say, you know what? And then too, everybody brings out something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Each interviewer brings out something different, because all of the spaces are different. If I was on a platform that was kind of like, I wouldn't say surface, but kind of like was talking about sports or talking about, something very frivolous, of course, you're probably going to hear different stories, and, you may hear more laughter, and you may hear more banter. But for your space, it was pulling out of the life, experiences, and it was pulling out of the deposits that I've had that had poured into me, and then also the deposits that I've had to pour into myself from my experiences. And so that is what drives the authenticity of the discussion and the conversation, and that actually amplifies, you know what I mean, the space. So I loved it, man. And it's crazy because I rarely go on TikTok, man. Rarely go on TikTok. And I went on TikTok one day, and this lady sitting in her car, and she's kind of talking. I said, "What is this lady talking about?" And I clicked on it, and it was our clip, and the lady was just, and it's me talking about how boys need more hugs. And so the lady goes, "This is true, because I have a son, ... and I'm just happy to hear that as many people. See, let me say this. Sometimes when people are listening to discussions that have depth and not these topical discussions, they're triggered.
Listen.
And what happened is, here's what happened. If you, and I'm going to go both ends of the spectrum. If you were a man and you heard that clip, and if you were not hugged well, you're triggered.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you are a woman,
yep,
and you heard that conversation and you were not hugged, you're triggered.
Yes.
So I understand it. And I am one that, man, I can take it, man. I embrace it, you know, because again, you can't be a thought leader and have deep thoughts and not believe that people are not going to feel some type of way, as they should.
Yeah.
You know, because it's thought provoking.
Yeah.
And as it should be. So yeah. Job well done, Brandy, for creating space.
Listen.
And in the words of Mama Mary, my beautiful mother, she said, "You got the niggas talking."
You know I love your mama. Tell her hello. Send her.
She told me to tell you hi. I told her I was doing something with you today. She said, "Tell Brandy I said hello."
Listen, tell her I said hi.
She's gonna watch, but she's at work.
She had some catfish or something on your Insta story the other day or something.
Oh yeah, it was her birthday. Mama just turned 66.
Wow, happy birthday! Yeah. So you know, Jay, I end out all of the interviews asking one word that you're committed to in this season of your life. But you know, since I've seen you in the last few months, what are you committed to right now?
Rest. So since I've last seen you, I've dropped about 20 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I've been on the road for 3 years, and I you know, and somebody who's a former pro athlete, I just wasn't able to really take my health serious. And that's why I wanted to end the tour to begin pouring back into myself. And it's been great because we all know when we're not our best selves.
Yeah.
But also I've been committed to rest, man. Like I don't have my first in-person speaking engagement. It's not until March. If I was in last year for the past 3 years, I would start speaking mid-January and I wouldn't stop until November. So this year, my rest doesn't necessarily mean inactivity, but I'm doing more by doing less. And then also just saying no to things that, you know, and they can be things that are great, but I just don't want to do nothing. Yeah. And I just want to pour and give to myself. And I'll say this, what I've discovered in rest, more comes to you in rest than what you find in doing.
More comes to you in rest.
I've walked in more open doors that I would have never walked in if I was doing, because you're not able to see them.
Yeah, for sure.
I've walked into more business opportunities than I've ever had in my life, and I'm not even doing anything. It's just falling in my lap. But my mentor, Dr. Kim Long, love her. She is a historian. She is on the board of the Smithsonian. She does amazing things for Black culture in the Low Country, Charleston, South Carolina. She's been mentoring me for about 10 plus years. And she called me in December and she said, baby, sit down somewhere. That's what she said. And I said, Dr. Kim, what you mean? She said, baby, listen. She said, I'm proud of you. She said, Jay, you have done so much in these past 3 years. She said, I don't know how you completed your doctoral program and travel. She said, I don't. But she says, baby, let me tell you something. Rest. She said, things come to you when you rest.
Yeah.
She says, you have to give your body a break and your mind a break.
Yeah.
She said, I just felt led to call and tell you that. She said, I'm getting ready to go on a 51-day cruise. I said, Dr. Kim, how you do that? She said, baby, I don't even know. It just fell in my lap. was like, what? She said, I was at home resting, and some folks just reached out to me and asked me to create some stuff for them. And next thing you know, I'm going on a 51-day excursion cruise, just enjoying my life. And so that's what I'm focused on. And it's been great. My skin is glowing.
I mean, you over there glowing, Jay. I see you now.
Listen, I told Dr. Kim, baby, I'm one of those folks, baby. You ain't got to tell me but one time. and I'm enjoying reaping the benefits right now. It's just resting.
Listen, yeah, I love that. More comes to you in rest. Dr. J. Barnett, you are a gem. It is such a pleasure to talk to you as always. Thank you for joining me and being one of my favorite guests of season 2. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. See you next time. You guys clap it up for Dr. J. Barnett for him coming on to the show. I am so excited. More comes to you in rest. I need to do that. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I need to do that. Now, I think I'm waiting on a message to see if our next guest is ready to come to the stage. But for all those people who are in the chat here, let's go ahead and interact a little bit. I want you to drop your favorite episode of season 1 or season 2, whatever one. Who has been your favorite guest? Because here's what I know. This weekend I was out. And I was out this weekend, you guys, and everywhere I went this weekend, somebody said, I love your show. I love watching your show. This was my favorite episode. And y'all, let me tell y'all, so this weekend I got Tiffany Montgomery, I got Terica Lynn Smith, I got Billy Carson, I got Linda Clemens. I got all these people who came. Somebody said, we got Deetra. She said Sherry Riley was her favorite episode. And y'all know Sherry Riley was one of our top rated shows for season 2. She was one of the top 3 performance shows for season 3. And I'm sure it was that title that got people, God told me not to work with Usher, but when you tapped in, you knew exactly what we were talking about. So I am so excited for what's going to happen in season 3. Now, y'all, I know she working to get her camera on, but before she get her camera on, we had Dennis Kimbrough was one of those favorite episodes. Thank you so much. I love that. So I love they said everyone. Okay, everybody's been the favorite guest. Dr. Kimbrough, we have multiple people for Dr. Kimbrough. Love that. Dr. J, Kiana Watson, and Mimi Faust. Okay, yes. Okay, those were some of those highly watched episodes too. Now, y'all, this episode, Desiree Rogers. I love that. Desiree Rogers. She was one of our highest rated shows of the season as well. Super good. Desiree Rogers. She was so insightful. We got so much back information about the whole, like, you know, the debacle at the White House. Nakia Homer, one of my super friends. So y'all, but this episode right here, I told y'all in the beginning of the episode that I thought I had fumbled the bag. I said, you and I, we met. I thought, you know, we were introduced. I never responded to the email. And I told y'all the story at the beginning of this episode because what I say? I thought I fumbled the bag. But y'all, I didn't fumble the bag because what's for you is for you. And God's timing is always divine time. And y'all said Sherry Riley was one of y'all favorite episodes of the season. And y'all, Sherry Riley sends an email and says, hey, I got the perfect person for your show. I think she would be so good. Her name is Linda Clemens. I'm like, oh my God, I fumbled the bag with this lady. Now she coming back. Oh my goodness, I gotta. And y'all, Dr. Sherry Riley said she would be a fit, and y'all, she was the most talked about, most requested to come back. She is the master of revealing deception. She does body language work. She is FBI certified. She has worked with some of the world's most amazing and just prolific companies out here, you guys, from MGM to the Major League Baseball, to IBM, to every major corporation, Wells Fargo. And y'all, she teaches people how to see what the eye really can see. And y'all, without further ado, Miss Linda Clemens, welcome her to the show.
Oh my
Make
goodness.
Sure you, okay, there we go. How are you, Miss? Yes, I can hear you.
I am so excited to be here with you. And yes, that Dr. J, he was definitely glowing. I said, woo. And I was going to take a week off chocolate. I said, well, back on again. Yes.
You was going to take a week off, Miss Linda.
Kind of a bit up of chocolate, and I saw Dr. J. But Brandy, it was so interesting what he said about, and hi everyone. It was so interesting what he said about being still. And when he said that, because I was listening backstage, it brought to my mind the scripture in Isaiah 37. Isaiah 37, their strength is in being still. Sometimes we just have to be still. Donnie McClurkin said, just stand. Sometimes we have to be still.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you.
It is so good to see you. I love you in blue. Miss Linda, now you were one of those people, Miss Linda, that when I say everybody in the comments said, we need a part 2 with Miss Linda, everybody in the comments said, when is Miss Linda coming back? Please bring Linda Clemens back. And I said, she really is that girl, y'all. Like, she really is that girl. And you said to me, they said, oh, Brandy, I don't know if, Linda's going to be able to do it. She has some stuff. I sent you a text message. I said, hey, would you? And she said, for you, I'll move some stuff around. And I said, well, come on now. We got to get the queen in the building. Okay. So I'm so happy you joined me.
Thank you. And congratulations. Congratulations as you are going into your next season of enriching and empowering and uplifting individuals, just all people. Congratulations. And the best is yet to come.
Thank you, Miss Linda. So much has transpired for you since the last time I saw you. I saw this clip and I had to replay it a few times. And then I got the backstory, Miss Linda. I got the backstory. Because Sherry Riley, I was at her house and she said, Miss Linda did not see this coming. I'm over there talking about when you were awarded Mind Valley Speaker of the Year, which was huge, Miss Linda.
Oh my goodness. So first of all, it's a huge community. You're familiar with it. And I've been a part of the community about a little going on 4 years now. And they have dynamic speakers who have come through their organization over the years. And they have a month-long event. But I got to tell you, Brandy, what really did it for me, I was shocked. I was surprised because I wasn't even going to go to the awards ceremony. I was there to support the new event, the new conference, Future Human. And someone says, oh, you need to go to the awards. You need to see the Dubai City Expo. It's beautiful. This whole awards thing is going to be like an Oscar type of thing. And Vishawn wants to acknowledge all the people on the team. And, they're going to say a few words and you want to be there when they ask you to stand up. I didn't know what it would tell me was I'm getting an award. And then I'm clapping for all the other recipients. And then they go like this. And now we're going to announce, which is equivalent to the best actress, best actor, our speaker of the year. And I'm thinking all these other people, all this. And they said, Linda Clemens, girl, I about fell out. I about fell out because I'm always cheering other people on. But what moved me it was not a vote by a panel of people. What moved me, it was a vote by the people.
Oh, yeah.
By the people. And that says, when you do the work, those who, exalt themselves will be humbled. And those who humble themselves would be exalted. And so by the people, girl, I was so excited. I was just so excited.
You should have been. But here's the thing that I really love and what I felt like this season of what you even called out for me on the show, this idea of expect the unexpected. right? And I think that so many women, so many men who are watching, sometimes they don't know how to expect the unexpected, right? There's so many feelings and moments that they feel like they got knocked down, that they weren't able to rise to the occasion, that they missed the opportunity, that the time is closing in on them, or the clock has run out. What would you say to those people, Miss Linda?
Listen very carefully, and I've been, because I watched, the Super Bowl this weekend, so I've been screaming and excited. But I'm gonna make sure my voice is clear. Here's what I want you to do, and I want you to remember this. Sometimes the things that we want, we lose patience. Why am I not promoted now? Why have I not been elevated now? I see other people, I'm just as good as them. But sometimes your strength is in being still, because your greater may be later.
Yeah.
See, sometimes God is preparing us to be able to go through all types of weather, all types of storms, and preparing you. I had one client, she was really upset because she's been with her company over 25 years, and her company told her that you are being groomed for this position. Each time someone else would get the position. And she was getting frustrated and she was about to give up. And I said, let me ask you this. Why do you think there's always a continuous roadblock? Because I think they're hating on me. I says, no. Sometimes when a door is closed, it may be protecting you from going into somewhere else because something else is about to be open. It could be the roof. It could be the window. We're so busy looking at the one door that we're going through and we're missing all the other open. So let me tell you what happened. Last time she said she didn't get the position. I'm done. I said, just hold on. Brandy, guess what happened? They moved her to another role because she didn't get that. She said, that's cool. And the next thing you know, they dismantled her department in the position that she was going to go to. See, but what if we would have pushed and we would have fought and says, give me this because of this and I've done this. Sometimes we don't know. So listen to what I want you all to know. When you just stand, understand this, the package, the gift, the opportunity that has your name on it is delivered for you. You heard in the church, what God has for you is for you. If it's meant for you, ain't nobody, or Granny would say, tain't nobody take it.
Yeah.
It's meant for you.
Listen. I just want to take off running, Miss Linda. I mean, where's the tambourine? Okay, where's the I think I said that when you was on the show before. You always got a word, Miss Linda. Listen.
Come on. And I want women, if Brandy is so critical to be aware of that. It's just to hold on. I love when people are just patient. I'll wait.
Yeah.
But that could have been yours. You could have had that show. You could have had that. I wait. Because sometimes, how do we know? How do we know that the things that are coming before us that we're seeing, that God is not giving us the Costco sample of what we're about to get? As I say, Costco, way to go, Costco. That we know that God's not giving us the Costco sample of this is what's coming for you. This is what's coming for you. And then when we're ready to get the big thing, we're ready because we had a taste of the little thing. And by the way, when I see you elevated, when I see you're growing into your next season, when I see the next chapter that God has for you, I'm going to elevate and celebrate you because I want to celebrate you and what you're doing. That's what we do. And that's the thing that sends vibration. That's the thing that gives the energy. That's the thing that can move the earth, the power of when we do that.
Yeah. Ooh, Miss Linda. Woo! Dun, 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 dun. Listen, Miss Linda always got a word in her spirit. I mean, you know what? I think there were so many people took so many great tools away from you when you did the show. Because yes, of course, you have a word in your spirit and you're going to drop some gems everywhere you go, but you gave people real tools that they can put in their toolbox. And it's so funny, Miss Linda, because I was thinking about you this weekend when I was out with some girlfriends. And the girlfriends, we at a party, Miss Linda, and literally they at the party just with the sitting down, not looking like they want to dance, nothing. And girl, I'm over there.
You remember?
I'm over there fishing, Miss Linda. I was over there fishing.
Reel it in. How many did you catch? How many did you catch?
Girl, I don't even want to put that out on the internet, okay? But just know, I wasn't fishing long, okay? I was dancing, okay? Just know that. Trust and believe, your girl was having a good time.
See?
But
you're right. You tell them, like you said, see, for those that might have missed the episode. And what Brandy is talking about is that lots of times sisters will go out and they'll go to the club, girls' night out, and they're sitting there and they're saying, ain't nobody asking to dance. Can't get a brother to ask you to dance. And not realizing that the door is closed. What do I mean by the door is closed? Because my sister girls used to do that. They'll go sit in the club, folded up, locked and loaded, folded up, arms folded, heart blocked, legs crossed, saying, I'm not coming out. You definitely not coming in. What brother, what person wants to knock on the door that you do not plan to open? So we know how to, Brandy and I know how to reel it in.
Listen. And what's so good about it is because even if they didn't watch the episode, like you said, one of those key moments, you know, in that was like, look, when I asked you, I said, people think that you have to look a certain way or have a certain look or have a certain body type or a certain, no, you just have to have the energy and the frequency.
Yes. Yes, because listen, to all the dynamic people that are watching this broadcast, you can become a money magnet where you don't have to chase money. Money chases you. It's drawn to you. You can become a love magnet by having the right energy and the right vibration. How many times have you walked into a room and all of a sudden you could feel the cold chill and you look around, the people are in there, you said, what's going on? Were you all talking about me? No one said a word, just the atmosphere. Yeah. You can be the one that changes the atmosphere where people are drawn to you. How do you do it? It starts with your thoughts. See, think about this, Brandy. Whatever you think about, it comes about. So if you think like, oh gosh, I got to do the clothes. Oh gosh, I got to see him again. Oh gosh, look at the moment that you think about, the brain is saying, the subconscious mind saying, oh, we don't want to do that, right? Let's shut down. Let's shut down. Let's bring by low energy and not rev it up. But baby, when you are open to opportunities, the late Dr. Wayne Dyer says, be open to everything, but attached to nothing. I'm open for blessings. I'm open for supernatural opportunities. I'm open for it. And that's when someone says, I'll have what she's having.
Absolutely. I'll have what she's having. Absolutely. Now, you know, Miss Linda, when you did the show, I asked all of our guests one word they're committed to in this season of their life. But what are you committed to? You know, you've expected the unexpected. You've gotten the unexpected this year. You know, Speaker of the Year for Mind Valley. There's been so many other opportunities that, you know, you've been open to and that have landed in your lap. But what are you committed to?
My word is my continuous foundational word, and it's obedience. Obedience. And I'm obedient to source. I'm obedient to God's word. See, I know his voice. I'm obedient. Sometimes I may not understand why I got to do this. Why I got to do this? Are you sure? Am I hearing your voice? Why I got to do this?
Yeah.
Obedience. And I'm telling you that obedient is better than sacrifice. And I'm telling you, my sister, it has served me. The obedience to keep connected with my sister, the obedience to be able to reach out, the obedience when she calls and says, yes, serve and support her. I am obedient. And my territory has been expanded, not just with opportunities, with priceless friends like you and those in your audience. I wouldn't take nothing for it.
Yeah. Ms. Linda, you are a gem. You know, I love you so much. Give us, where can our audience find you? Do you have an event that's coming up soon? How can they connect with you?
I'm traveling a lot, doing a lot of international travel, but please follow me on Instagram, because my niece always says, at Linda Clemens, you got to tell them, Auntie, you got to tell them. Also on LinkedIn, but of course, Instagram, because I'll be able to connect with you in real time. And because I'm a sister of Miss Brandy in the vault, check me out every now and then. I'll be coming back home. Back home.
Yes, yes, she will. Y'all just know y'all will see her again. Miss Linda Clemens, thank you so much for making time for me. I am so grateful to you. So grateful for what you offered our community. Thank you so much. Bye, Miss Linda. Thank you. You guys. I just love all the love. I love all the love in our community because I think what we are able to do is put people in front of you who you may have never known. You didn't even know they existed, but they know how to really tap into the heart space and the heartstrings of who you are and give you tools to amplify your life. And that is why I'm so excited for what we have coming in store for season 3, because I know what we've already done in the first 2. Is our next guest here? I'm waiting on our next guest to come backstage. And I'm so excited to keep sharing this platform with you guys because there are people like you who listen every single week. Y'all listen every single week and y'all tell us who y'all want us to talk to. And this man came in season 2 and it was because you all kept reaching out and saying, we gotta have him. He gotta be on your show. So without further ado, the creator of and star of the Dear Future Wifey podcast, Mr. Laterras R. Whitfield. Welcome him to the show.
What's going on? How you doing?
How are you? I'm wonderful. How you doing?
I'm gonna be all saved and say I'm blessed and highly favored.
Amen. We knew you wouldn't say anything less than that, Laterras. Listen, we're gonna get a good biblical response out of you all the time. Okay. How have you been?
I'm doing amazing, Brandy. How you been doing?
I have been doing wonderful. I mean, can you believe we done made it to season 3, Laterras? I mean,
well, Brandy, you do good work. So I mean, of course, you're gonna be around for a long time. You know how to interview. You know how to ask the right questions, and you're a great listener above everything else.
Thank you so much. Now, Laterras, I said Laterras has to come on the show because we had one of those clips on Instagram that went crazy with the engagement. You sent me a screenshot one day like, yo, I did not know that this reel was doing these numbers. And I think it was probably at like 700,000 views on that reel at that point when you sent it to me. And it was the reel about transparency versus honesty. And I want you to talk about this because, baby, they was going crazy in them comments.
What I said is what I believe in. I said honesty is telling the truth when asked a question. Transparency is telling me what I don't even know to ask. You've been in relationships before. I'm quite sure we all have, where you find yourself having to ask the right question in order to get the right answer. And then when they finally tell you the answer that you knew that they were seeking, they say, well, you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me that. You like, well, you know what I was trying to ask you, but they wanted you to ask the right question the right way in order to get the response. Transparency is telling me, don't have me jumping through hoops. Before I even think of the thought, I want you to be able to say, hey, I want you to know this. If you're a type of man that likes this or desires this, this is my background. This is where I come from, so that we can have everything understood up front. That's what I believe in.
Yeah. And I totally felt like that was conveyed perfectly, but you know, there is always somebody, you know, the average, you know, person in the United States reads at a 5th grade level. So comprehension is not always in play, Laterras. You know that. So
did you say 5th grade level?
5th grade, baby, are you smarter than the 5th grader? That's the question I gotta be asking folks. That might be a new dating question, Laterras.
Yeah, are you smarter
than a 5th grader? Okay. What level are you on? Well, we in different hallways when we were in school, but anywho, I have to ask you, Laterras, because of that clip, you know, what are you being transparent about in this season of your life? Because you have so many new things that are happening. You're on the Married at First Sight after show, after party. You've been on that cast on that show with Keisha Napoleon. I mean, so you got a lot of irons in the fire. So what are you being transparent about in this season?
Well, the book that I'm writing, I have a book that's coming out in next year. The publisher told me not to say the release date just yet, or even the title of the book. But I have a book that is coming out, and that whole book has everything. It has my whole thought process. It has everything that how I look at love and relationships, and how I believe that we can do love and relationships a whole lot better. And so, in every episode of my podcast, I'm transparent. I share stuff that sometimes is shocking to people. They like, Laterras will say anything. I'm like, this is who I am. You know, I believe people don't have a heaven or hell to put you in, and who I serve knows me through and through. So why try to hide who I am from mere mortals when my Heavenly Father knows me, knows my heart. And so I'm always be transparent. I lead with transparency.
Oh, I love that. What are you learning about love right now?
What I'm learning about love in this season of my life is that you have to be submitted to the process of that person. Sometimes we go into relationships believing that people have to flow a certain way based on our own expectations. And as I'm interviewing other people and I'm seeing it show up in my life, that you have to submit to the process. Allow yourself to experience that person, not predicated on experiences that you had in the past, not the last person you dated, not the last person you may even been married to, but to allow yourself to fully experience that person and don't put parameters around it. Boundaries, yes, but parameters on, well, if you really cared about me, you would have done this. And the last woman, she said this. And what you should have, no, just get a chance to know them, find out what their own, their idiosyncrasies are, so that you can say, oh, the way you show love is like this. So you really do care about me. Okay, that's interesting, because at first I was thinking that you didn't really care because you didn't do these things, but I realized you show love like this.
Yeah, you show love like that. Yeah. I mean, Laterras, it's so interesting because for the amount of interviews that you do around love and relationships, you also have other topics. And one of our guests, Chanel Nicole Scott, I watched her interview with you to prep when she was coming on my show. And shout out to Chanel Nicole Scott, who I saw this weekend, and she and I had a really good talk. We had a really good talk this weekend about her episode and how helpful I thought it was for some people, because everybody's story is different, but there are some people who have the same story as you. And, you know, you talked about what led you to have that interview with Chanel Nicole Scott is that you said that you experienced someone who thought that that God told them that you were their husband. And so you wanted to dive into that conversation. How difficult is it in this season as you are growing, you're on different platforms, you're on network television shows, all of that, when you're confronted with situations like that?
It's interesting because I never solved that for myself. You know, I still think for real, I'm just a regular dude to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my PR team, often when I'm going to major events, they be like, you need security. I'm like, I'm never going to need security. That's not going to happen. I'm never going to be that type of dude. Like, all right. But then I have these women that become fixated with who I am, and they will send me stuff in the mail. They'll send stuff to my church. You know, is people that have sent stuff to I went and picked up a package from my church yesterday. My pastor said, well, you need to tell these women that this is not the post office. Why they keep sending you stuff up here? Because they'll know that I go to church there, so they'll send stuff there. So it's quite interesting. So
what's you before you go on?
They'll send me massages. They'll send me hotel stays. They'll send me one lady sent me some soap, like some organic soap, and sent me cologne. Women sent me clothing like t-shirts or something. One lady sent me an apron that said that she's gonna wear it when we get married, and she's gonna be cooking for me and all that. Man,
Listen, Laterras, first of all, what empowers audience? Where are my gifts? Okay, I need some hotel stays. Where are my St. Regis hotel stays? Where are my Four Seasons hotel stays? I gotta call it. I gotta call it out. Listen.
See, listen, you bougie. I'm talking about they send me Travel Lodge, they send me Courtyard.
You gotta speak these things as though they are, Laterras. So I don't want to just say a hotel stay. I gotta be specific, okay? I love this. I love a St. Regis stay. Listen, Laterras, they send a hotel stays. OMG.
They send me all kinds of. They send me event tickets to go to events with them. And this one lady sent me something to go to an event with her in Maryland in July. And I'm like, by July, I want to be engaged with somebody. I don't think she'll be cool with me going to an event with you. But it's interesting, Brandy. I mean, it's real different. That's all I can say. It's real different.
I can imagine. But one of the things I was so happy to see, and it was, I mean, one of those interviews for you that has done so well, Whitney, who was on your show, she came back and she's married.
Yes.
She's married now. Yeah.
Whitney, met her about 3 years ago. I met her a year prior to her coming on the podcast. And I had always been a support for her as she was building content. I had a video production company, so I would have different subscriptions to services that you can do graphics with and transitions and all that. And I opened my whole video editing thing and said, hey, whatever you need, here's my login. You can download whatever you need. Graphics, transitions, lower thirds, everything. You got this. Here's thousands of dollars worth of stuff. So I just kept empowering her to do that. Play off of Alton Powers. But I kept empowering her to do that. And then one day I said, I want you to come on the podcast. You're a virgin, and I think your story is interesting in the Christian faith of being a virgin, creating these videos about singleness. But you haven't had a boyfriend in years. Come on there. Of course, the infamous wig fail happened in that, and she took off, and the video got over 300 million views, and there it was.
Yeah. And now she done popped out with her husband.
She popped out in the show. And so that happened. She got married. I actually started managing her from that point when her wig fell off. And then here it is in October of 2024, she gets married. Comes on my podcast in January, announces it to the world. And when we would do events, he would always be there, but he would be my plus one. You know, like he's working for me or doing something with me, and he'll sit at a table adjacent to us. And what I love about him, he's very secure. A lot of men wouldn't be able to handle that, to be like, I'm watching my woman sit at a table with her manager, and I'm watching other guys come by and shoot their shot at her while I sit as an onlooker. You know, a lot of people can't handle that, but he's very secure in who he is, and I'm just happy for him.
Wow, I love that. So, Laterras, I will not keep you long, but you know, every episode I ask all the guests one word they're committed to in this season of their life. And so for you, what are you committed to in this season of your life?
Surrender. Surrender. I have a tendency, especially in the past, of feeling like I can control my destiny. Even in the sense of when I said back in the fall of last year that I'll be married by the end of 2025, that's me speaking with intention, but I'm still in surrender. If it doesn't happen by the end of this year, it doesn't happen. But I have the heart posture and the intentionality to be married by the end of this year. December the 29th will mark 10 years from the day I got a divorce. And so I'm ready. I'm ready to start building my future with my future wifey. I'm excited about it, and I'm looking forward to it. And but I'm still in the heart posture of surrender to say, God, not my will, but let thy will be done. Even though my desire is what it is, then I'm totally surrendered to you.
Oh my goodness. I love that, Laterras. Surrender. You are such a gem. You know, I enjoy you so much. You are one of those people who is out here changing the game in the world of Christian relationships and dating. And so I am so, so grateful for you to spend some time with me today, Laterras. Thank you so much for joining us for the season 3 launch party.
Thank you, Brandy. Listen, I wish you the best. I want this season to be your greatest season yet. I want to see your numbers shoot through the roof on YouTube. I speak that over you from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. I ask that God open up the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings you don't have room enough to receive in the name of Jesus, that this year will be your greatest year yet in life, in romance, in relationship, in finances. I decree and declare it right now over your life.
Amen. I received that, Laterras. Thank you so much for joining us. I will talk to you soon, Laterras. Thank you. Y'all wrap it up for Laterras. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Laterras. The Dear Future Wifey podcast drops every week. You guys know, if you are not subscribed, go hit his subscribe button over there. Now, you guys who's coming up to the stage, I know y'all saw this episode because this episode was our most viewed episode of season 2. We had crossed 100,000 subscribers, but y'all, when this man came on the show, he took us all the way over the mark. Without further ado, the futurist, the global teacher, the leader, the speaker, the motivator, Mr. Inspiration and Forbidden Knowledge himself, Billy Carson is here. Welcome to the show.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hi, Billy Carson. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm wearing these just because I have to have the spectacles now.
Oh, really?
I'm having a little bit of eye trouble, but I hope it doesn't affect your cameras. But yeah, everything is fantastic.
No,
just been grinding and working and just keep trying to build, just building the business and traveling the world.
I mean, Billy, I have to tell you, the week your episode dropped, we had crossed 100,000 subscribers 2 days before, 2-3 days before your episode dropped. And when your episode dropped, when I tell you the subscribers that we got within that week, I think we did over 25,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Over the course of the week that your interview was running. It got over 1 million views, and that was our highest rated long form show of the season. So I just had to say thank you, Billy Carson.
Hey, absolute blessing. I'm glad you got the Billy Carson effect.
Listen, we got the Billy Carson effect, absolutely 1,000%. But you know, Billy, of course, the conversation that you and I had, it triggered a whole lot of folks and a whole lot of conversation.
Oh yeah, a lot of people got triggered. You know, it's controversial alternative way of thinking that it goes against the epigenetic memories that are inside of our bodies for 15 to 20 generations. So those epigenetics are, program codes in the body that have been locked in through the RNA, passed down by the father's side. This is scientific, information. You can look it up in basic genetics. And that code is in us. And then we're born, then we're taught this information. So I don't see, if your faith is so strong and your belief is so strong, there should be no fear in listening to alternative perspectives without getting triggered. Once you get triggered, in my opinion, we have a problem.
Yeah, we have a problem. I think I want you to, because there are people who have watched you debate other people on different platforms. And of course, they have brought that into the conversation, even in the comments on our interview. But what do you think makes it so difficult for people to want to challenge their beliefs and look at someone else's perspective?
It's just programming. When you're born from the age of a baby all the way up to the age of 7, that's the time that the human brain is a sponge, and it can take in the most information, and it becomes the person that's going to be the adult within that time frame of birth to the 7-year-old mark. Again, more mainstream peer-reviewed science. And so within that time period, we find that that's the time that you're given everything that you believe in that creates the fundamental basis of your belief system. And so once someone comes in, whether it be 10, 15, 20, 30 years later, and provides or presents information that goes against that belief system or rocks that belief system, it triggers an anger response out of that person because there's a fear of loss there. Not only is the belief system, to me personally, I feel that the belief system is built around fear, the fear of damnation and the fear of being evil, or the fear of being born in original sin and all these things. That's just my personal opinion. But me saying that should never trigger anybody. It should make them say, hey, that's this guy's perspective on things. And if that's his perspective, okay, maybe I don't believe that, or maybe I don't rock with that. And maybe some people will say, you know, let me look into that a little bit deeper. But when it gets to the point where we're feeling rocked and we're feeling afraid and fearful and we're feeling tormented, then we have to really look at maybe there's something here that's making me feel this way, because I can never make a person angry. Nobody ever made you angry. Nobody ever made me angry. Yes, we've gotten angry. I've gotten angry. But who made us angry? Ourselves. We got angry. Being angry is an absolute choice. Being triggered is a choice. Being triggered, though, usually links to things from the past. And so what things from the past? The belief system from the past.
The belief system from the past. I mean, absolutely. I think there were so many. I got to tell you, Billy, my salvation, child, was questioned so much after your interview. I got more DMs about what the Lord said to me that I had to tell you. I got more of that, right? And it doesn't bother me. And I want people to know, like, I love having conversations with that open and expand my mind. And so I can agree with some, I cannot agree with others. I can allow myself, though, and afford myself the opportunity to hear something different so that maybe I get to see the world in a different way. And I think that that's what we owe it to ourselves, to allow that part to say, let me hear a little, let me listen a little deeper. Let me hear a little clearer.
There's nothing wrong with that. And for the record, I never said that I was an atheist. I never said that I didn't believe in God. I never said that I didn't believe in Jesus. I never said any of that. People
did not.
Parts of clips of podcasts, clipped them, cut them, and then ran away with it. This guy doesn't believe Jesus. This guy doesn't believe Jesus died on the cross. This guy doesn't believe in God. I've got clips of me over and over and over again from years ago. One of my biggest clips that made so many views on Twitter. It's so old. It's been pinned there for a long time. It says, let me make it clear. I actually believe in God. I believe in the creator of this universe. And why do I believe that? Because through my study in science and physics, I believe that it's a fingerprint of the creator itself and that we are living inside of a creation. I've even written a book called Fractal Holographic Universe, which describes the mind of God and the fact that we're fractals of the consciousness of God living within this matrix. We're living in a creation, just as the Bible says, just as the Quran says, and just as all the other indigenous texts and verbal hand-on history say, in my opinion, we are living in a creation. I don't go against that. I don't go against that. Jesus was a phenomenal ascended master and a great teacher that lived on this earth and taught incredible things for us to learn from. And I even said in many podcasts, but they never take that stuff, that if we template our life after his life, we can obtain Christ consciousness. That Jesus said, we are to do greater things than he. So if we're supposed to do greater things than he, why are people not doing that? Why are we hiding? Why are we succumbing to every single thing that happens? Why are we acting like we have no power? So as soon as somebody like myself with confidence and pride can stand up and say, I am God walking in the flesh. God is me and I am God. There's a fractal of God inside of every atom in my body because God is a creator. If you're the creator and you've created everything, then most likely we are actually living and inhabiting inside the God body, meaning that we are part of God itself, almost like an organ or a mitochondria inside of a cell. Maybe that's the multiverse. The cells inside of a divine body, and we're just one of trillions of cells in that body. There's all different ways to perceive it and to understand it. But I do believe that the ultimate goal is for everyone to obtain Christ consciousness. They never clip that out either. I've said that a million times. The second return is the return of the consciousness. In other words, instead of waiting for a man to fly in with wings coming on clouds, it's the return of this, the return of man's understanding of who we truly are and the power that's been imbued in us to love, to care for, to have service for others, to respect one another, and to have dignity and respect for all living things, animate and inanimate, because everything's alive, because everything's made of atoms, and atoms are alive. And so once we get to that point consciously and spiritually, then this whole planet will shift instantaneously. I guarantee you right now today, if everyone had the mindset that I'm speaking of at this exact moment, if we can, in the twinkling of an eye, if everyone had that mindset, this planet would shift instantaneously. No more wars, no more political scandals, No more ridiculous garbage going on. No more infighting. No more family feuds. All that would disappear instantly. And what's wrong with that? Why is that so taboo to think that? You see?
Yeah.
To me, it goes back to fear. And when I go back to thinking, if I'm in something that's involved in a depth of fear, I don't believe that fear could be linked to love.
No.
That's my personal opinion.
No. And you know, that was one of those moments. And when we talked about it in our interview, and I said, I don't believe in the God of fear. You know, when people say, I want a man that fears God, I'm like, I don't want a man that fears God. I want a man that loves God. Yeah. I want to be around people who love God, not fear God, because fear makes you act irrationally. Fear gives you a different state of being. But when you love and you show up genuinely and you love God, then you honor God. When you love God, you respect other people. You show human kindness, right? Because you love God, not out of fear. Yeah.
Absolutely. What is fear? Fear, what does it do to the body physiologically? Well, as soon as you go into fear, you go into fight or flight. The brain leaves your frontal lobe and goes to your hindbrain, where there's less logic and processing because your body's not ready for flight, right? You can't make logical decisions. You don't think properly. You don't process information appropriately. Your respiration is up. Your heart is pounding. All these things, your body's releasing cortisol, which is like a toxic hormone in your body. It gets too high and it creates all these other ailments in the body. It creates dis-ease in the body, which leads to disease. So high levels of cortisol over an extended period of time will make you sick. Why do I want to be in fear mode all the time? To me, that's not empowering. That's not uplifting. That's not inspiring. I don't want to walk around in fear all the time. I want to walk around in love and power and believe in myself and believe that the power that's in me gave me the power to do what I need to do. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, nothing. Billy, like for me to even spend 15 minutes with you, you know, is just not enough time. Somebody in the comments said, Brandy, not that kind of fear. It's a reverential fear. It's in reverence. So the fear is in reverence. What would you say to that, Billy Carson?
Well, I would say look up the definition of reverence. You'll find out that reverence has nothing to do with being afraid. Zero. You can't combine those two words together. Look up the definition of reverence and you'll find out that the two don't go together.
I'm gonna have somebody look it up. I'm sure y'all will drop the meanings, the Webster definition in the comments in about 2 minutes. I think, you know, Billy, I think one of the things that, you know, what I've wanted to do with this platform is empower people just to think differently, to elevate their way of thinking, that we bring people that you may not have known, you may not have heard, but when they sit down and they start to share their journey and their stories and the adversities that they've had to overcome and all the moments that have shaped their life, we get to see people in a new way. We get to have new ways of having conversations with people. And I think that you were one of those conversations this past season that really stretched our community in a lot of ways. And I'm so grateful that you came to sit across from me.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you. It was an honor to be there. And of course, I'll always support, promote, and share your posts and your content, which I've done, liked your comment, commented on your posts and so forth through our social media. I support everything you do. See, the thing about me is I can listen to a person of a different faith and I can take when they say great things that actually resonate with me and make me feel like I can add it to my repertoire, my knowledge base, and apply it in my life and get a change. And I will comment positive with those people. I will love those people. I will thank those people, regardless of what religion or belief system that they're in. If they say something that I resonate with, then I'm going to apply that because I can see how it's going to have a positive effect on my life.
Yeah. As we close out, thank you so much for sharing your time with me, Billy. But I've asked every guest, what are they committed to in this season of their life?
Relationship. So, and when I say that, I've worked so hard to get out of object poverty. I was in object poverty as a child. I'm talking about complete, eating toast and Cairo syrup for dinner, begging neighbors for food, taking fruit off of fruit trees, connecting our water hose to the neighbor's house to take a shower in the backyard because we didn't have running water, no electricity most of the time, things like that. And growing up in object poverty gives you a totally different perspective on life, especially when I had to pull my bootstraps up on my own and find my own way. But what the side effect to me it driving me into, working so hard to get out of that situation was my relationships suffered because I was always on the grind nonstop. I never took time for myself or my relationships. And so now I'm in the time of my life now where I'm taking time for my relationships with family, relationship with my spouse, and relationships with myself. You have to have a relationship with yourself. If anyone out there living without a relationship with their own self, you can't sit with yourself, take yourself on a date, be with yourself, then there's a problem. And I found that problem within myself. So I began to work on it, do trauma work, shadow work, and realized that the quality time is extremely important with loved ones. And I began to segregate that time and make sure that I have that relationship.
I love that. And I see your commitment to your relationship, your beautiful wife. You and Elizabeth just have such a great bond. It's so great to see how you guys are building and doing it together. Billy Carson, thank you so much for gracing me with your presence again. You know you got to come back in this season. All right. Yeah. You heard it here. Billy Carson will join us in season 3. Until next time, peace, Billy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys, what an amazing, I know y'all know, seeing the comments. I love the comments. I be reading the comments. Listen, but I'm so glad that y'all are engaged in this. So please continue to write in the chat. I love to interact and see what you guys are saying. But without further ado, we are coming towards the end of our party. But before we could end this party, y'all, before we could get up out of here on this Winning Wednesday, I have to bring our season opener to the stage. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's an entrepreneur. She's an MC, a host, a confidence coach, and a sex educator. Welcome to the stage. My best friend, Harvey Raymond, is here.
Hello, Brandy. How are you?
Hello, Carly. How you doing today?
Hey, how are you? You know, when this comes on, I have a little remote and readjust my light a little bit.
Okay, you have a remote. Is it affecting your audio quality, Carly?
You think it is?
I don't know. Just don't keep hitting it, okay? See, you went mute. Mm-hmm. You keep going mute.
I'm not.
Okay.
Anything.
Okay, we can hear you now. Carly, good to see you.
How you doing? Start over. Nobody else got this.
I don't know what it is about. I don't know what your sound is doing, but your sound is it's going in and out.
I'm not doing anything. No.
Your sound is going in and out.
Is it?
Yeah, it's going in and out. But we're gonna work through it. I think it's gonna be great.
Okay. Yeah. Does that sound?
It's a little delay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you sound great, but here's the thing: your mouth and your video are not matching. So they're not matching. Yeah, they're not matching at all.
I don't know everyone else's was, but I don't know.
You're the first that we're having this issue with. Of
course.
You are the first.
Sorry, my life.
You are the first that we've had this issue with, but that's okay. So we save the best for last.
I see. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's off. Yeah, it's a little off. It's a little off. Maybe we can take you out and then bring you back in. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take Carly out and then we're going to bring Carly back in, have her log back in because she's having a little technical difficulty. And we want to make sure that y'all can actually hear Carly correctly. Okay. So, but I'm so glad that was our, she's our last one. So it's A-okay. So I want y'all to drop in the chat. How are y'all liking these conversations? Who are y'all looking forward to? Carly's interview tomorrow is going to be our kickoff to season 3. We're in a whole new studio. We got a whole new studio. We have a whole new studio. We have just a whole new vibe to the show. We left out, they said, of course, Carly. Miss Patrice said, of course, Carly. Listen, we got a whole new vibe to the show. And so I'm so excited about that because now we're in the studio. It's just a different, intimate level of conversation. I will say thus far, you know, that Carly will be our first episode, but some of the other people I'm excited about, Dr. Joy DeGrew is going to be joining us. Carly's back in the show.
Oh, hi.
Okay, I think it might be a little better.
And I've been since like 2:12 here. So I'm not.
Yeah, it's just like a delay. Like it's a delay. And I don't know, but we're going to keep it going and see if we can't, you know, just push through and see what happens. Do you have all the tabs closed on your device? Do you have all the tabs closed on your device? You don't have any other tabs open?
No.
Maybe that might help.
No, I don't have anything open.
They asked, are you using Safari? Probably. They said, can Carly join on her phone?
Yeah. I
can,
but
yeah, let's try for you to join in on your phone and see if that can work. And we will see. But
Harrison, this is,
you said where?
It's embarrassing. I have to go.
It's really not. I don't want this to be embarrassing because it's really not. We're going to get you on the show, but this is live in real time.
I love that.
Yeah, it's just live. It's real life.
Okay, let me.
Life is life.
For sure. I'm going to.
Okay. Yeah. So Carly's going to join back in for this conversation. Deidre said, I cannot wait to see Carly for the opener. Now, y'all, I have to tell y'all, Carly's episode that launches tomorrow is hilarious. It is so funny. Like, Carly is the only person that got to see her episode before it comes out. And so Carly literally was busting out, cracking up, laughing at herself, y'all. So y'all know this episode. I have so many moments that I just holler. I am literally hollering. That King James version of sex was a real moment in that episode. I could not have seen that coming. And all the other antics that Carly has for tomorrow. But like I was telling y'all, while we get Carly get back into the live, you guys, we have Dr. Joy DeGrew, who is going to be joining us this season. When I tell you, this is a conversation in the making. Do I have that book over here? I don't know if so it's not on the bookshelf over here. I think it's in the other room. But you guys, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, the book, is the reason why I went to therapy. It is the reason why I went to therapy. It gave me the permission slip, the license to go get some help, because I read Dr. DeGrew's book in 2015, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, looking for answers for the work I was doing at the foundation, at the Stephen Marjorie Harvey Foundation as the executive director. And you guys, I was looking for answers for other people when I got that book. But y'all, I got answers for myself. And so Dr. Joy DeGrew, this is one of those in the making episodes. You're in the show, Carly. Good to see you. You are here.
Okay, how is this?
Praise the Lord. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. The one and only Carly Harvey Raymond is in the building.
Thank you, guys. I just want to say thank you for bearing with me. If anyone, Brandy knows this about me, whenever we have to do something that requires me to get technical and use my audio visual skills, the limitations are glaring. Okay.
Baby.
And right now, I have been set up literally since 2:12, sitting here waiting because I didn't want any glitches.
I know.
And I had all the glitches. Just
I
know
know.
that.
I know.
And I don't really feel like my phone stand is doing what it needs to do. But I'm here.
It's doing
Okay.
everything it needs to do.
Okay. Amen. I'm here.
I'm so glad, Carly, you made it. We were not going to close out this show without you, though.
I'm so glad. I feel like Miss Seeley from The Color Purple. I'm here. I'm here. Just give it real.
Carly,
Yes.
so you are the season opener. When I told the team, I was like, I think I want the season opener to be Carly. I was like, I'm going to ask Carly if she would do the show. And I think the season opener for season 3 needs to be her. I am so happy about this episode because, one, it sheds light on the fact that people don't know that you're in financial services with you and Ben, and that you're a certified sex educator, and having conversations about sex are like your jam.
Yes. So I think anything that I've ever done, I go get certified for it. I go get a license to do it. Whether that was cosmetology or insurance, selling home, auto, life, health, like anything I do, I get a license or a certificate to do it. So I think that's just where I am. I'm always learning something new. But definitely in 2021, after the pandemic, I decided to get certified in sex education, and it's been a game changer, not only for me, but for the women I get to inspire and help them feel, reignite the passion that they feel that could have been lost, or regain confidence. I get to help them do that. So yeah, it feels really good in this season to talk about pleasure and sex, but some of the challenges that come along with that. Whether we're stressed out, whether we're trying to find ourselves in the midst of chaos in our lives, whether it's overcoming body image, shame, whatever it is, I'm just helping women to regain their confidence, but also empower them to know that they can have the sex life they truly desire and deserve.
I mean, to have the sex life that you desire and deserve, we talk about it in the episode. It really comes down to communication. Us being able to communicate what we really want, you know, being very clear and honest with ourselves first, having that relationship with ourselves, and then being able to have that with somebody else.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to get in touch with what you truly want, need, and desire in this season of your life, because each season brings something different. At each stage of life, we get to rediscover or discover something new about ourselves. We get to explore the parts of ourselves that have been hidden. But we get to decide what our sex life looks like and how we're able to expand it as we get older. But even as we talk about challenges that come our way, whether it's small children and navigating that, whether it's, you know, ups and downs in your marriage, whether it's life changes of job or grief or parents, losing your parents, or depression, all these things play into the sex that we're having, right? And so, yeah, communication is key. Getting radically honest with yourself about what you want, and not leaving your pleasure up to someone else. And so that's what's really important in teaching women is really telling them they have the power. Like you are able to drive your own car. And then guess what? If you have a partner, guess what? I get to actually talk about the things I like or I'm into and invite someone into that experience. So it really comes down to that. And it's a beautiful thing. I know that it's hard. I've listened to all your guests before, you know, And each person has said something very similar. Is we're here to give people the information. Okay, we're here to give people information. We're here to be the people that say, hey, this is what I've learned. I want to expose you to it. I want you to experience something. But guess what? In that, you get the freedom of choice.
Yeah.
You know, you get the freedom to choose. And I think that's what's so important is for women, for men to understand too. You know, we have the freedom of choice. And so I know that there can be so many limitations that people place on women and their sexuality and what it should look like, what it should feel like, what it should be like. And so I'm here to break that down, break down the barriers that society has created for us, our family structures have created for us, what we've created for ourselves.
I think it's so much about what we have created for ourselves. Because even when you just mentioned, you know, everybody saying the same thing, you know, I think that that's just been the goal with Vault, right? Is to allow people an opportunity to share what they've learned, what they've experienced, how they have, you know, managed and handled the journey along the way, and share that with our audience. And the audience gets to decide what they want to do with it, what they want to keep for themselves, what they want to discard and throw away. And I think you said it, like, we're giving the information. What you choose to do with it is going to be up to you.
Yeah, you can pick apart the meat from the bones. You can make that's what we're here for. But we're here to create the conversation. We're here to create the atmosphere for change to happen and change to occur. And so, yeah, sex is hard for people to talk about. But we're not just talking about sex. We're talking about educating people around sex. So it's the thing, you know, even when I get questions about abstinence, do you promote abstinence? I know we talked about this on the show. We did a whole church.
Your phone going in and out.
What'd you say?
Your phone's going in and
out. Yeah. So at this point, Brandy, I think we just want to tell people to go watch the episode tomorrow. Just, you know what? Log in 10 a.m. Vault is coming back better than ever. Season coming in hot. All right. Hot. Okay. Because do you know what this is? This is saying we don't want to hear Carly talk now. We want to hear her talk tomorrow.
Amen. That's what it is.
That's what they're saying. We want to hear them talk tomorrow. Because we don't need to talk today. We want to talk tomorrow.
I don't need to hear her right now. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and watch the episode.
I need to hear her tomorrow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I think really is. But before I do, it really is creating people to talk, creating people to dig within themselves and get past their own fears. Because that was the one thing Billy Carson just talked about. It's the fear. Sex brings up fear for a lot of people because it challenges your belief systems. Yeah. It challenges what you've been told is right. It challenges the idea of being a good girl versus a bad girl. It challenges your idea of what autonomy looks like for you. It challenges that. And so when challenges come, we get scared because how do I face the challenges? How do I come head to head with the fear? And so right now, honestly, you know, and I think Jay Barnett's mother said it best. You got the niggas talking. And so, baby, every time I step on the scene, I just want the niggas to be talking. That's it, baby. I just want the niggas to be talking.
Miss Mary said they talking, Carly. Miss Mary said they talking. Listen. So
Miss Mary said they talking. Listen. So all I say is that's all I want is I want people to start talking. I want people to start getting honest with themselves. I want people to start asking themselves, what do I truly want in this season of my life? What do I need in this season of my life? But what do I desire to have in this season of my life? And once we can start asking those questions, man, how high can we fly? How high can we fly? How high can we soar? That's what this is all about. So yeah, I think what you're doing over here at Vault Empowers, Brandy, you're changing people's lives. You know, you've been doing the Lord's work a long time. You know, you've been running, trying to make 199 and a half. want to do. Okay. Oh no, baby, my mic is messed up.
It's on. It's on right now. Your mic is on right now, Carly. It is on.
Baby, I don't know what just happened. We done had technical difficulties. That's just everybody saying we got to watch it tomorrow. We don't know what the hell she's talking about today because it's chip chopped and shit is haywire. But that's okay. She's going to be talking good tomorrow. 10 a.m.
She going to be talking good. She going to be talking
that
good.
Girl, you're going to see that girl learn herself something tomorrow.
She did. Okay, Carly, I've asked everybody, what are they committed to in this season of their life?
I told you on the show.
When I asked you for one word on the show, I asked you for one word, and you said, I don't have a word, Brandy.
I don't have a word. I don't have a word.
I have a
mantra. I have a mantra.
Uh-huh.
I have a mantra. And so my mantra for 2025 is bust a move and let God use you. Bust a move. Bust a move and let God use you. Now, guess what? When you bust a move, you're going to make some people uncomfortable. You're going to hurt some people's feelings. You're going to make some people ask, hey, that's all right. I'm busting my move. I'm busting my move. I'm letting God use me in this way. He ain't using you you got to use you in your way.
Yeah.
He using me in mine. Okay? And every day I step out, I'm just busting a move and let God use me. I'm letting him use me because I know who I am. I know what I'm called to do, and I know who I'm called to be for people who need me. People who need me in this season. It is people who need me. They need my voice. They need me to show up in my authenticity. I had to break that down in syllables. I had to 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato that thing to get authenticity. They need me.
Carly, Maya, I just love you so. Carly, I'm gonna go so I can bust a move and let God use me.
You already doing it, sister girl. You already doing it. You busting a move and you letting them use you every day. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. I love you so very much.
Thank you, Carly. Harvey Raymond. Your interview drops tomorrow, 10 a.m. We will see you live on Vaught and Powers.
It will not sound ghetto tomorrow. It will not. It's gonna be clear tomorrow.
Season 3 opener. You guys, thank you for joining me for our first ever launch party, our first ever live situation here. And I just want everybody just to do themselves a favor. If you are not subscribed to Vaught and Powers, you need to go do that right now. Hit that subscribe button. Be sure to watch something in preparation for tomorrow. Okay, but tomorrow, 10 a.m., the one and only Carly Harvey Raymond is our season 3 opener. I am so excited for how this show is going to grow and continue to inspire each and every one of you who tune in every single week. Until next time, everybody, I'm your girl, Brandy Harvey. Eat well, give a damn, move your body every single day. Peace.